Welcome everyone to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. In this episode, we're going to talk about Rockstar coming out with the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy. This is the remaster trilogy of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. They did release a trailer for it as far as hey, this is what we're changing and all that crap. And it comes out on November 11th. So it's going to be $60. We originally thought it was going to be 70, which was going to be pretty high, but 60 is still high for some old games that have been kind of redone a little bit. The remaster does look pretty good for a remaster, but again, it's a remaster. It's not a remake of them or anything like that. It's just remastering. So upscaling, polishing the turd, as we like to say. One thing that's kind of cool, I guess, is that on day and date of November 11th, the PlayStation on PlayStation Now is going to get Grand Theft Auto 3, the remastered version, and Xbox is getting San Andreas on Game Pass on that day, the remastered version. So, if those were the games you were looking for and have a PlayStation or Xbox of the trilogy, if you didn't want to play all three and those were the ones you were looking for, hey, great. You got them on PlayStation Now and Game Pass. If you're looking for Vice City, which is the best one, I think, it's not coming to anything unless it's coming to the Switch or something. But as far as I know, it's not. So other than that, I mean, it's just a reworking of these old games. These games are great. San Andreas, I could never really get into. I've tried several times and just really wasn't up my alley. And I don't know why. I don't think I like the map in it, really. I think that was the biggest thing for me. But yeah, I mean, cool for those individuals that want it. I think we all just want a new Grand Theft Auto more than anything, but at least they're releasing something. At least this isn't, Grand Theft Auto 5, the remake, again, coming back to you again. Grand Theft Auto 5, the re-release. So what do you think about this, Patrick?
Yeah. One of the things I thought was kind of interesting was, as you mentioned, everything comes out the 11th, but, PlayStation Now is not getting GTA 3 till like December the 7th.
Oh, is that right? I thought it was on the day too.
I thought it was too. And I just came across the actual, PlayStation blog where it says now starting December 7th and the trilogy is coming out on the 11th. So it's gonna be like a whole month, which I don't understand that, but whatever. It's really weird. To me, I've been there, done that, right? I played it. I played it multiple times. For me, even as a graphics snob, I'm like, I've already played this. It seems to be Rockstar's MO here lately, though, right? Milk that franchise to death because, as Nick said, Grand Theft Auto 5 has outlived a couple of generations of consoles now, and they just redid it and re-ramped it and re-released it on the series and then the PlayStation 5. So, this thing's coming out on Switch, isn't it? It's everything.
Yes, I believe it is coming out on Switch.
Yeah, it looks like, it's kind of weird because you could buy it digitally on November the 11th, but physical editions won't be available until the 7th. I don't get that, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know why physical is taking longer, or taking like a month later, almost a month later.
Right. And I kind of agree with Nick. I would rather play, if I'm going to play any of them, I'm going to play Vice City, than the others. That's just, I don't know. San Andreas was okay to me. 3 was better than that, in my opinion, too, but I don't know if I would do it. Maybe because it'll come out on Game Pass, I'll give San Andreas another chance, maybe. But I'm not going out and paying $60 for the remasters. I'm just not doing that. They'll pay down to $20 before you know it. Because I think we're not outliers in this situation where we're tired of these games. We've played them to death. And Grand Theft Auto 5 is just that was the sledge that hammered it all in home because I don't know. I haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5 online in maybe a year. The last time we all played. So, and I have no will to want to go back to it. Now, it has been a long time since I played these, so maybe I'll go back to San Andreas because it's on Game Pass. maybe I'll subscribe to PlayStation Now to try GTA 3, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Now, if I subscribe to it for something else that comes out, because I see they add something cool, maybe I'll try it out, but I'm not actively seeking out these games for myself anyway. And I don't know how many people are clamoring at the gates to get these 3 games, especially at $60, because one of those might be your favorite, but are all 3 of them your favorite? Who knows? We'll see what their sales numbers are, but it's Rockstar, right? What can I say? They're milking the cash cow. That cow looks like an anorexic cow by now. It's just a little skin and bones with its udders hanging down. That's all that's left of that cow. But they're going to milk it until that thing falls over dead.
They're going to pump it back up once Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
No, they're going to take care of it. Yeah, they're going to be like, this is the Grand Theft Auto Anthology Remastered. Everything we've ever put together besides 6 remastered. You know?
Don't give them any ideas. I'm sure they would. I'm surprised they haven't done a 1 and 2 remastered, right. The original ones.
They can't afford to update those textures right now.
Yeah.
They need to milk this 5 and 4, and they need to remake it. They need to milk the whole series for another 5 years before they can afford that.
Well, they haven't remade 4 yet, so they'll eventually get around to that too.
Right. That'll be the next trilogy, right? 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 1, 2, and 4. No, I believe it. Yeah, I probably, since we have Game Pass, I'll probably play San Andreas just for the fact that it's on there and give it another go, because like I said, I played it back in the day and I didn't really like the map because I kept getting lost in the woods. There's that big wooded area in the center of the map, and I would always find myself there every time I played it. And I just got annoyed by that. The only one I really want to play is Vice City. I love Vice City. That's my favorite one. And that's the one I want to play. And that one I would have to buy. I don't think they said, unless did they say you can, it would seem like you can buy them a la carte, just, whichever one you want. If they're going to do these.
I didn't see that you could buy it outside of the definitive edition for the trilogy, but I could be wrong as well. I've not kept up too much in the news on this because I'm not that interested in it. It's just every time I turn around, I hear Rockstar and I'm like, oh, here we go. Grand Theft Auto 6. No. I think there was something that came out recently that they just said that they're starting to work on it or something. And I'm like, just starting? Yeah, I should have been on this thing like 5 years ago plus, so.
Right. Yeah, they have so many franchises they could make. Like a new Manhunt would be awesome. We haven't had that in years. Max Payne 4. They have Max Payne now. Unfortunately, it doesn't belong to Remedy anymore. And Rockstar has the IP for that. So, from my understanding, they do at least. So maybe a Max Payne 4 or something like that. Or just, just looking to delve into some of your other franchises. They're riding this Grand Theft Auto train, and the train's been good to them. So I guess they're just going to ride it till they run it off the rails. But we'll see what it does. Hopefully they offer them a la carte. I would imagine to be $20 a piece if they were. But
yeah. Yeah, I was Googling an article while you were reading. According to Game Revolution, they're not a la carting them. It's all 3. You got to buy the trilogy or not at all.
Of course.
So they kept the best one that you have to buy the trilogy for, and then they put the other 2 out on the consoles in their subscription services. So they know everybody wants to play Vice City, but then they're going to be like, yeah, we know you want to play this one. Give me that $60.
Right? They're like, here's San Andreas. Here's Grand Theft Auto 3. They're the great games in their own right. The one you really want to play, we're going to lock that behind a $60 paywall because we know that's the one you want.
Yeah, they put that business plan together, didn't they? They go, nobody wants these other 2 games, but they want this one. So we're going to give these 2 away, basically, when we charge $60 for this one game. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, really, if they're going to remake them, what I would love to see is not a remaster, but take Vice City and do a remake of Vice City. That would be awesome. Just to take a reimagining of Vice City, still in the 80s with the great music and, and all that stuff that game had. And the whole, the story of that one was pretty much Scarface. And so it was a great story and everything like that. And, So yeah, I mean, just redo that, make it Scarface still, follow the Scarface movie, make it still in the 80s, just revamp everything. Like not, put a 4K filter over it, but like, polish it up, like remake it from the ground up. That would be awesome.
Right. Yeah. I read that they put some quality of life changes in there, like remap the buttons so they're more like 5, did some mini map changes, did some quest failure changes where you can restart them immediately, kind of like Canon 5. So they took a lot of things that 5 did well and they overlaid them in this game, but it's still the same game. You played it. They're not changing the stories. And I'll agree with Nick. Vice City was amazing. The story was great. Why don't they just do something in that universe? The Grand Theft Auto 5 Vice City, I don't know, Tales of something, the new guy, whatever, they could do so much with the game I already have by telling different stories by now. They could have been like, this is no longer this story. This is a story of this other immigrant now. And his coming to America story, whatever, it's the 80s. You don't tell, you can use the same map and the same game and all that stuff. Just put a new stories in there. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah, just use the Vice City map and everything, but a new character and maybe some new cars, a couple new locations on the map and stuff like that, but basically make it a brand new story. That would be awesome.
It would be. And then I would be okay getting charged $60 for a new game, or maybe treat it as an expansion. I don't know what they want to do, but I would be okay with something like that. But in my opinion, Grand Theft Auto is just milking the same games they've always milked, and I'm ready for, Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, at this point, I'm even ready for a new Red Dead Redemption, for freaking crying out loud, even though 2 was not that great.
Right. Yeah, 2 wasn't as good as 1, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But yeah, come on, Rockstar, give us something new. We're tired of these remakes. Give us a new game. But do you have anything else you want to add to this?
Where's my Grand Theft Auto 6?
Exactly. Where's Grand Theft Auto 6? It's time. Grand Theft Auto 5 has outstayed its welcome.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Make sure comment down below. What do you think? What do you think of these remasters? Is this something you're going to pick up, or are you just going to play the Game Pass or PlayStation Now free ones that they're going to give you? Were you hoping Vice City was going to be a part of that free Grand Theft Auto action like we were? So let us know in the comments below. Maybe what new games from Rockstar also that you would like to see. Maybe some of their new or some of their old franchises you'd like to see relived, or something new from them. But let us know. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay up to date with new videos that we put out. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.